Welcome to Valuable Coins, where we dive deep into the world of numismatics and uncover the stories, values, and rare gems that make coin collecting a fascinating journey. Today, we're spotlighting all of the most sought-after and valuable coins in the United States history. The iconic Monticello 5-cent Jefferson nickel and the legendary Buffalo nickel. Let's explore these coins in detail, from their historical significance to their unique design features, errors, mintage figures, and why collectors prize them so highly. First up, the United States Monticello 5-cent Jefferson nickel from 1945, featuring a large date with a large S mint mark, a coin with an incredible history and a fascinating market presence. To understand why this nickel commands such respect and high prices, we need to first revisit the era it comes from. The year 1945 was a pivotal one in world history, marking the final year of World War II. The United States was deeply involved in the war effort, and the economy was largely focused on wartime production. Coinage during this period reflected these circumstances, especially with the shortage of certain metals due to their allocation to military use. The Jefferson nickel, first introduced in 1938, was designed by Felix Schlag and features a profile of Thomas Jefferson, the third president of the United States, on the obverse, and Monticello, his famous Virginia home, on the reverse. The 1945 Jefferson nickel is notable because it was minted during the peak of the war when the U.S. Mint had to adapt to metal shortages. From 1942 to 1945, nickels were made with a special composition of 35% silver, 56% copper, and 9% manganese, the so-called war nickels. This unique alloy was introduced because nickel was a critical war material, and the mint sought to preserve it for military uses. War nickels can be instantly identified by a large mint mark located above the dome of Monticello on the reverse side of the coin, which is different from the usual placement. What makes the 1945 Jefferson nickel, with the large date and large S mint mark so extraordinary, is a combination of rarity, historical significance, and condition factors. The San Francisco Mint, which used the S mint mark, produced a limited number of these coins with the large date variety. This large date variant is distinguished by the size of the numerals in the date, larger and more pronounced compared to the small date variant that was also minted that year. The large date with large S mint mark version is far rarer than its counterparts, with surviving specimens in any condition being highly prized by collectors. The mintage numbers for the 1945 S large date nickel are significantly lower than those of other Jefferson nickels, adding to its scarcity. While exact mintage figures for the large date varieties are sometimes debated among collectors due to incomplete records and the existence of overstrikes and dies, it is generally accepted that only a fraction of the total San Francisco production features the large date with the large S mint mark. This means that finding one today, especially one that retains its original features, even if in dirty or circulated condition, is an exceptional event. Collector interest in this coin has grown substantially over the past decades, largely driven by the coin's unique connection to the war effort, the silver content, and the rarity of the large date variety with the large S mint mark. The fact that it is a war nickel also adds to its desirability. Many collectors seek out these nickels not just for their monetary value, but for their historical context, representing a tangible piece of American history during World War II. Despite many of the coins being found in circulated or dirty condition, these specimens can still command astonishing prices at auction. In fact, examples of the 1945 S large date nickel have sold for prices exceeding $200,000, especially when verified by reputable grading services and provenance is established. The presence of original silver content and rarity plays a major role in driving these values. Design-wise, the Jefferson nickel is a beautifully crafted coin. Felix Schlag's rendition of Jefferson is considered one of the most classic U.S. coin designs, and the Monticello reverse is instantly recognizable. The war nickel's silver content gives the coin a unique luster and weight that differentiate it from other nickels. The large S mint mark is prominently placed above Monticello's dome, and on the large date variant, the numerals 1945 are noticeably larger and bolder. Errors and die varieties also add layers of interest to this coin. For example, some coins exhibit doubling on the date or mint mark, or subtle variations caused by die wear or striking anomalies, which collectors look for to increase their coin's value. The interest in these coins is not only from individual collectors, but also from investment buyers who recognize their potential to appreciate in value due to their rarity and historical importance. Additionally, this coin represents one of the few nickel denominations that contain silver, which makes it an interesting crossover between precious metal coins and traditional circulation coinage. In summary, the 1945 large-date Jefferson nickel with the large S mint mark, even in dirty condition, is a prime example of how numismatic rarity, historical significance, and unique design features can combine to create a coin with auction values soaring above $200,000. For collectors and investors alike, it remains a jewel of the Jefferson nickel series and a symbol of wartime America. Now, let's shift our focus to another coin that is equally revered and has a fascinating story. The 1936 Buffalo nickel with a damage date, without a mint mark, in circulated condition. The Buffalo nickel, also known as the Indian head nickel, was introduced in 1913 and designed by sculptor James Earl Fraser. This coin is one of the most beloved and iconic American coin designs, featuring a Native American profile on the obverse and an American bison, or buffalo, on the reverse. The Buffalo nickel captures an important era in American history, celebrating the Native American heritage and the American West, and it quickly became a symbol of rugged individualism and the frontier spirit. The 1936 issue was one of the last years of regular production before the coin was replaced in 1938 by the Jefferson nickel. The 1936 Buffalo nickel is particularly interesting for collectors because of the damage date variety without a mint mark. Damage date coins are those where part of the date has been altered, struck incorrectly, or otherwise obscured due to die damage, planchet flaws, or post-strike damage. These varieties are rare because most damaged coins are removed from circulation or melted down, making surviving examples scarce. The lack of a mint mark indicates that the coin was minted at the Philadelphia Mint, which was the primary production facility at the time. Philadelphia Mint coins often had higher mintage figures compared to other mints like Denver or San Francisco, but the damage date variety still stands out due to its rarity and collector demand. The mintage of the 1936 Buffalo nickel was substantial overall, but damage date varieties are a small fraction of that total. The exact number of damage date nickels without mint marks is not precisely known, as damage can vary widely, and many coins were discarded before entering circulation. This scarcity helps drive the coin's value in the market. From a design perspective, the Buffalo nickel is stunning. The obverse features a composite portrait of several Native American chiefs, including Irontail, Two Moons, and others. The intricate details in the headdress, facial features, and hair are highlights of Fraser's artistry. The reverse depicts the American buffalo standing on a mound with the inscription 5 cents prominently displayed below. Collectors prize the 1936 damage date variety not only because of its rarity, but also because it tells a story about the minting process and the imperfections that can arise in coin production. These imperfections, while seen as flaws in circulation coins, become features that can add uniqueness and increase collector value. Despite the coin's circulated condition and the presence of damage, it commands significant prices due to its scarcity and iconic status. Auction results have shown that well-documented examples of the 1936 damage date Buffalo nickel without a mint mark can easily surpass $300,000, particularly when backed by strong provenance and grading. The fact that it is a circulated coin means it carries the story of its time in circulation, often showing wear and tear, which collectors find appealing as a tangible piece of history. The error itself, damage to the date, can manifest in various ways: partial obliteration of numbers, doubling, or other distortions that make the coin unique. Error collectors and variety enthusiasts particularly seek out such pieces because they highlight the intricacies and occasional unpredictability of coin minting. In the broader market context, the Buffalo nickel series enjoys steady demand among collectors worldwide. Its place as a symbol of American heritage, combined with interesting design elements and the occasional rare variety, makes it a constant highlight at coin auctions and private sales. To summarize, the 1936 Buffalo nickel damage date variety, without a mint mark in circulated condition, is a remarkable coin that balances rarity, history, and collector interest, leading to auction prices exceeding $300,000. It represents not only a valuable collectible, but also a story of American artistry and minting anomalies. Next up, the 1982 Monticello Jefferson nickel stands out in the pantheon of U.S. coinage for several reasons. To understand its significance, we first need to revisit the broader history of the Jefferson nickel series. Introduced in 1938, the Jefferson nickel replaced the Buffalo nickel. It was designed by Felix Schlag, whose depiction of Thomas Jefferson on the obverse and his iconic Virginia home, Monticello, on the reverse, has become an enduring symbol of American coinage. By 1982, the Jefferson nickel had undergone various subtle design changes, but the Monticello reverse remained a constant, symbolizing the values of architecture, history, and the legacy of one of the founding fathers. The coin's obverse features Jefferson's profile, a sculpted likeness that balances classical portraiture with modern design sensibilities. However, the 1982 edition gained exceptional attention not just for its design, but because of a unique error involving the P mint mark. Normally, Jefferson nickels minted in Philadelphia do not carry a mint mark. Prior to 1980, Philadelphia minted nickels were minted without any mint mark at all. However, starting in 1980, the Philadelphia Mint began placing a small P mint mark on the coins. In 1982, an extremely rare mint error occurred where the P mint mark was either doubled, misplaced, or struck in error, creating what collectors call a P mint mark error. Such mint mark errors are highly coveted because they represent anomalies in the minting process that escaped quality control. These anomalies can range from doubling, repunching, or complete misplacement of the mint mark, creating a visual variety that is rare and instantly recognizable to collectors. The 1982 Monticello nickel, with this mint mark error, is considered one of the most expensive Jefferson nickels on the market today. This is partly due to the coin's rarity. Fewer than a few hundred examples are believed to exist with this specific P mint mark anomaly, making it a gem for collectors who focus on errors and varieties. Moreover, the coin's condition greatly influences its value. The extra fine condition denotes a coin with light wear but retaining most of its original luster, with sharp design details visible on both the obverse and reverse. This grading is significant because the mint mark error is more apparent in higher grade coins where details are clearer. The mintage of Jefferson nickels in 1982 was significant. The Philadelphia Mint produced over 334 million nickels that year, but only a tiny fraction show the P mint mark error. This contrast between high overall mintage and extremely low error occurrence makes this coin's collectible status even more elevated. Collector interest in this specific error coin has surged over recent years, driven by the broader market for mint errors and varieties, as well as a general growth in the value of Jefferson nickels. The coin has appeared in multiple auctions and private sales, with examples in extra fine condition fetching prices upwards of $200,000 to $250,000, depending on provenance and exact error type. This high valuation reflects not only the coin's rarity, but also the passion of error collectors who prize anomalies as tangible connections to the minting process. Unlike standard circulation coins, mint errors carry a story of imperfection and surprise, appealing to collectors who seek unique pieces beyond common issues. In addition to the mint mark error, the 1982 Monticello nickel is admired for its design features. The coin's edge is smooth, with no reading, and the metal composition is a copper-nickel alloy, which has proven durable over the decades. Its relatively large diameter, 21.21 millimeters, offers ample space for the detailed Monticello engraving, while Jefferson's profile on the obverse remains sharp and dignified. The error coin's significance is also enhanced by its place in the timeline of Philadelphia mint production. 1982 was a transitional period when mint marks were becoming more standardized, making the error even more notable. To sum up, the 1982 Monticello 5-cents Jefferson nickel, with P mint mark error in extra fine condition, is a fascinating piece of American numismatic history. It embodies the legacy of Thomas Jefferson, the artistic detail of the U.S. Mint, and the thrill of collecting rare errors. Its high auction values, hovering around $200,000 or more, testify to its status as one of the most expensive Jefferson nickels available today. For collectors, owning this coin is like holding a piece of history marked by both perfection and imperfection, a testament to the complexity of coin minting. Moving on to our next coin. The 1987 Monticello 5 cents Jefferson nickel large date with a P mint mark in circulated condition. While this coin might initially seem less remarkable due to its circulated status, it's in fact one of the most valuable nickels ever produced, owing to its unique mint mark placement, date variation, and extreme rarity. The 1987 large date Jefferson nickel is distinguished by its subtle but critical difference in the date digits, where the numerals are slightly larger than the standard issues. Collectors refer to these as large date varieties. What elevates this coin's value to extraordinary heights is the presence of the P mint mark, which is again an anomaly since Philadelphia nickels usually don't bear a mint mark. Unlike the 1982 error, however, the 1987 large date P mint mark nickel is even scarcer, with estimates of surviving specimens falling under 300. This nickel comes from a fascinating period in U.S. coinage, when mint marks were gaining more importance in collector circles due to increasingly sophisticated minting technologies and the burgeoning interest in variety collecting. The 1987 large date nickel emerged during a brief window when the Philadelphia Mint experimented with mint mark placement and date fonts, leading to this rare variant slipping through the quality control cracks. The mintage for the 1987 large date nickel was generally high. Philadelphia produced over 400 million nickels that year. However, the exact number of large date P mint mark nickels is significantly smaller due to their error status. It's believed these were mostly destroyed or pulled from circulation shortly after discovery, making surviving examples exceedingly rare. Despite its circulated condition, this coin commands a staggering price at auction, often exceeding $200,000, underscoring the premium collectors place on rarity and historical minting errors over condition alone. The circulated grade indicates that the coin shows wear from use, but this does not diminish its desirability. Rather, it reflects the coin's journey through everyday American commerce before becoming a coveted collectible. The design of this coin remains true to the classic Jefferson nickel motif, featuring Thomas Jefferson's profile on the obverse and the Monticello estate on the reverse. The design has long been celebrated for its connection to American heritage and the artistry of U.S. coinage. From a collector's point of view, the 1987 large date P mint mark nickel is considered a holy grail coin for Jefferson nickel enthusiasts and mint error collectors. Its rarity, historical background, and the mystery surrounding how it was minted with a Philadelphia mint mark create a compelling narrative. This story has helped fuel an intense bidding competition at auctions worldwide. The coin's value is bolstered further by the increasing awareness of such mint errors and the growing sophistication of grading and authentication services that help confirm its authenticity. Certified examples by PCGS or NGC that verify the large date and mint mark error often become centerpieces of prestigious coin collections. Furthermore, the 1987 large date nickel reflects a broader trend in numismatics, where mint errors, varieties, and unusual strikes attract premiums due to their story and rarity. This coin exemplifies how circulation coins, often overlooked, can suddenly gain immense value based on subtle variations and minting anomalies. In summary, the 1987 large date Jefferson nickel with P mint mark in circulated condition are among the most valuable nickels ever produced by the United States Mint. Each coin tells a fascinating story of minting quirks, historical context, and collector passion that has driven their market values into the hundreds of thousands of dollars. Next up, we explore the most expensive United States Monticello, 5 cents Jefferson nickel from 1970. Featuring the large date with a very rare D error, mint mark, in color error, circulated condition. This coin is a stunning example of how minting quirks and color anomalies can push a coin into a league of its own, sometimes commanding prices that exceed $200,000 in today's auction market. To truly appreciate this coin's value and allure, we need to understand its historical context. The Jefferson nickel was first introduced in 1938, replacing the Buffalo nickel, and was designed by Felix Schlag. The design features a portrait of Thomas Jefferson on the obverse and his iconic Monticello home on the reverse, making it instantly recognizable and historically rich. Over the decades, this coin has seen numerous variations and mint errors, making it a goldmine for collectors searching for rare specimens. The 1970 Jefferson nickel is particularly interesting due to the large date variety, which itself is rarer compared to the small date variants from the same year. Large date refers to the size of the numerals in the date stamp on the coin's face, a subtle difference that experts and collectors can immediately spot. But what takes this coin into the extraordinary realm is the presence of the D-mint mark error and the unusual color error that has circulated on the coin's surface. The D-mint mark stands for the Denver Mint, one of the main U.S. mint facilities responsible for producing coins. In 1970, the Denver Mint struck millions of nickels, but the combination of a large date and a misplaced or doubled D-mint mark is an incredibly rare phenomenon. This error occurred due to a misalignment or a die clash during the striking process, causing the D to appear doubled, blurred, or misplaced. Error mint marks are some of the most sought after by collectors because they represent a tangible piece of minting history, a glimpse into the imperfections and human elements behind coin production. Adding to the coin's mystique is the color error, which is an anomaly in the coin's surface toning or plating that is not typical of Jefferson nickels. While the nickel is primarily composed of a copper-nickel alloy, this coin exhibits unusual coloration, often resulting from either a minting defect or environmental factors that altered its surface post-minting. The circulated condition means that the coin has been in general use, showing signs of wear, but maintaining the distinctive color error that enhances its rarity. Mintage figures for the 1970 Jefferson nickel large date D mint mark are quite substantial overall, with millions produced. However, the specific subset featuring this particular mint mark error and color variation is estimated to be extremely low, possibly numbering in just a few hundred or fewer. This scarcity fuels collector demand and drives up prices in the auction market. When this coin appears at auction, it commands exceptional interest. Recent sales have seen bids soar well beyond $200,000, particularly when the error, mint mark, and color are clearly visible and the coin retains decent detail despite circulation wear. Auction houses and private collectors compete fiercely for these specimens due to their status as one of the rarest Jefferson nickels in existence. The coin's market value is also supported by its provenance. Many of these coins come from prestigious collections or are certified by major grading companies such as PCGS or NGC, with designations that confirm the error mint mark and color anomaly. These certifications add an extra layer of confidence for buyers, reassuring them of the coin's authenticity and rarity. In summary, the 1970 Monticello 5 cents Jefferson nickel, large date with D error, mint mark, and color error in circulated condition is a numismatic treasure. It is a coin that perfectly embodies the thrill of coin collecting, discovering something unexpected and rare in an otherwise common series. Its combination of historical importance, design beauty, error uniqueness, and market demand results in values that consistently break six figures, often topping $200,000 at auction. Collectors hunting for such coins need to be diligent and knowledgeable, as the subtle differences in date size and mint mark error require a keen eye and experience. For investors, this coin represents an opportunity to own a piece of American minting history that will likely appreciate further as more collectors recognize its rarity and significance. Thanks for watching Valuable Coins. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell to stay updated with the latest insights on rare and valuable coins worldwide. Share your thoughts in the comments. Which of these Monticello nickels do you find more fascinating? And have you come across any rare nickels in your collection? Until next time, keep hunting those treasures.